Yeah, that was something. I like this soft music, like a violin. It's so nice. How can I express that in words? How can one say something in words that expresses some very profound, deep feelings? I have, some degree, wanted to reach that level, level of the ability to speak in a way so that people may understand it so well that it internalize immediately and grow out of its own force of life. What is that? Force of life. Let me get into that. Oh boy. Force of life. Let me Google it first. So you don't miss out the chance of spelling it right. Let me see. Force of life. No. I think that is correct. Force of life. Force of life. I think that is a good topic. Force of life. It's words. Let me begin with words. Words is our expression of the force of life. We read in the Bible, the Jewish people, they say that God created the world by words from the Torah. The Torah is the builder of this world. So that is, you wouldn't say that just unconsciously because it feels good and you give Torah right in every regard. Like I write a book and I can build my own house out of that book. No, it's not that simple, though it could be. That they also say that the Noah built his ark out of preaching the gospel. Maybe he did that. And yet they say that Noah didn't do enough. That's why the world went under. He could save a lot more than those 8 that was in the boat. Yet, that is a morning of itself. But the force of life is when we speak true words. And as they say in the beginning, God created the world. And he spoke entities into living. Let me check something out. Yeah, it's okay. He spoke it into existence. And it seems to be exactly what is happening. From non-existing to existing. From appearing. From appearing again. Yet you don't know where it comes from. Time. Maybe it should be more understood as creation. Every moment, every minute, every second, every millisecond is a creation. What is standing is a creation of its own. It exists, it vanishes and exists again, yet we are keeping memory of everything. That's an old life conjunction. I don't know whether I should continue or just stop this video, because I feel I reached the end of this video. Yes, by talking about time, which will be a diversion of what I'm talking about in this force of life. Okay, I can contemplate this. I can think about it. I think part of the force of life is words, truth, and what you believe to be true. I think that. Yeah. So how do we deal with such a statement? Force of life. Where does the force of life start? In your muscles? I don't believe so. Because there is something beyond my muscles. When I grow old, I am more in need of relaxing. When I grow old, I want to take a rest. I feel that I need more sleep. As the difference between when I have slept very poorly and when I'm in a good, have I had a good night? Good night. That changes everything. So I said to people, secure your sleep. Keep your sleep because it rejuvenates the whole system. It starts everything anew. So to keep the energy flowing is to dream, to relax, to sleep, to wait until you are waken up in the morning. So that is some force that makes you energetic. If you see the paradox of sleeping and gaining energy is polar opposite than we do. By exercising, we do everything as to build up strength. We exercise, but the rest, the sleep, the relaxing, it kind of implement all the drainage of energy that we did before. So part of force of life is that you have rest. People are so, here in Norway, at least, and I bet in America too. Now Mr. Trump is going to make America great again. So how do he do that? How would Mr. Trump be able to make America great and great again when it's brought to its knee by the leftist government of Biden and Kamala Harris? How would Trump? Maybe Trump needs to get rest. Now, maybe he feel burnout after all this force of engaging in everything. Now, maybe he can say to the American people, go home, get your rest, get your sleep. Now we need to sleep. We don't need to work so hard. we need to sleep. Because there are so much good when you have slept, to gain energy from that. Some, when I was working with them, I asked them, because I have this fatigue. Don't you feel tired sometimes? Don't you want to rest? No! we rest when we are when in our grave. We rest when we are down and out. Before that, push on. The force of life is all about how you dedicate your life, your day, including the sleep you need. So maybe this podcast should be all about sleep. No, I don't want to talk about sleep in that regard, because the force of life is the internalized rest you have had in order to know, have the mind, thoughts and everything clear, so you are ready for taking the spade, the axe, the hammer, the knife, the shield up again. You do it after the rest. You can't do it when you are so fatigued that you don't know whether it's them or they, or you or some other entity. No, you can think clearly after the rest. That is part of the force is within. And before God created the world, I think he had his rest. Because if he is eternal, he must have an eternal rest. Doing this kind of stuff that made this creative world functioning by its own nature. How come the eternal engine of the nature is invented before we could make an engine that is working eternal? It's just by pure genius. Maybe God had his dream and he dreamt this world into being using the clues of Torah. I say that the Torah was given from the heaven. By Torah, the world were created. Maybe that is the tool. The words in Torah, in Hebrew, is the tool by which God created all what we see, even you and me. How come just a seed, a droplet, into something like an egg, and how do the egg develop? You never know. You never know. Even before you are born, the ladies, they have the right amount of eggs they have in order to bear fruit. Everything is fixed like that. The nature is made not by random evolution. That gives no sense. Even the eggs in the body is there from start. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I heard it someplace which I can't prove. But it's something that is destined like that, had to be created, not evolved over time. No, I don't believe in that. Evolution doesn't have eternal force. It gives no sense. So how do Trump make America great again without people feeling in the mode, in the right mind to do what they need to do in order to get it done? So that is how the force of life. It's so important that people know what creates. And it is not by hand. It's not by axe. It's not by hammer. It's by the will and the mindset that you need to have in order to fulfill the idea that you came up with. To do what is important for you. I believe that people have their own mission in life. To be weak, no. I think the mission is to get strong. To feel the force of life flow through their lifespan. Not through their organs. Of course, there are forces within the organs that is needed in order to do what we do. We need to lift, we need to wash, we need to walk, we need to see, we need to speak, we need to hear, we need to sense. That is the human condition. We need to eat. We need to breathe. We need to digest. We need to get rid of things that couldn't be digested. That was waste. That became waste. The force of life is above and beyond the human capacity by their own entity. It's within their spirit. Now, when we are talking about life force, we are talking about some spiritual entity that needs to be understood in order to understand the force of life. What people are willing to do, what people want to do, what their motivation is. So it's beyond the bodily functions. The force of life is beyond the bodily functions. It's some force of entity beyond the human mind, even the human mind. We are just in contact with this kind of a force that inspires us, that makes us do certain weird stuff. Maybe to do this video takes some force of life. The life force in me is directing me into something that either it's okay or it's not okay. I say yes to something which I somehow will regret. I say something which I am happy to have said. Yesterday I heard something told about me that I haven't really known by myself. But if people admire certain attributes, it's good. And it seems that they are listening even more keenly when they admire people with their abilities. They will choose. When people have some abilities, they will either be chosen or rejected. In my case, I think I will be rejected because my speech is kind of salty and spicy. But that is my force of life. That is my attributes. I do this as my attributes say I have to do. Not that I am not responsible for it, of course. I'm responsible for what I decide to do or decide not to do. Let me have something to drink. It gives me life and force. It's, what can we say? I think our mindset is in contact with this, where to go, what to do, what to say, how to be, and so on. I think it's the character of a human is its own kind of life force, because it has some attraction. Not only the face or the figure, but some weird, very secretly made character. How can I explain my own character? I can compare it with my dad's, my brother, my sister, my mother, and maybe ancestors. As I've told you, I pray for them every day. And I think it's important to have this blessing, because it influences my life force. To have this read out of your life, so to say, to pray, to leave it in God's hand, to be there as a blessing, not a condemnation, not as enemy, just as something. Be there as something, which you will never know how it influences on others, but you are you in this regard. And sometimes you understand what's about you, but sometimes you don't really know, because the force of life leads you somewhere you wouldn't maybe understand, maybe get the full scope of. Someone said about my father that he was kind of a prophet that had this view and was working on this idea. And maybe that is true. Maybe my dad didn't really understood, or he saw that was his goal, that was his aim, that was the best in the situation. And as I have been a critic of the system, I criticize the system, which is very those that are in the system today, the administration and the politicians, they are minding their own petty business. There is no life force within that. They are preserving their own status. They are looking down on people like me that have our voices heard. They will never approach me by miles. That's how forceful I may be. That's how strong I may be perceived. I have no idea. But to be true to yourself is being in contact with the force you have within. The life force that you are given from God by His Word that created everything. I'm a bit out of my depth here. It's okay. I think that there may be something to it that we will never maybe understand. How deep the life force in our entity's being, the time we are here, and how we go around with other people, with ourselves, with those that we have created, in God's blessing. So, it's Friday. We have our duties. We have our way of life. We do what we do. We eat what we eat. And I believe that being who you are is encouraging others to be who they are. Believe in who they are. I think that is the main point of my statement, that the life force creates in you a belief in who you are and the importance of that. To belittle yourself is like a child that never were approved. To doubt yourself is to be the child that never were believed. Believe in yourself. Believe the right thing. Believe for the right reason. Believe that even your words can bring life and encouragement to other people. Yes, by being in sync, in accordance to your own being. Be in sync with your own soul. Be there within. And if you feel you go astray, you will have God to remind you. If you feel that you are so off, you have God to pray to. Don't ever doubt that God are there for you. It's so marvelous. I think what God have created is so marvelous. It's so beyond. It's influencing in my own life what God have started. And all these sectarians that try to part people from each other. We are brothers, we are sisters. We shouldn't depart from each other. We have everyone our life force that we can nourish, we can encourage. And why would I exclude anyone? Why would I condemn anyone? Jesus said, don't condemn. So because I think this is the thing that he was maybe having in mind, that everyone have their own life force. Everyone is different. That's why religious milieu can't accept any differences. That's why the environment in such a milieu becomes hostile to independency, to your way of being yourself. As long as you commit and submit to others, that is good for them. Not for you, my friend. Not for you, by far not for you. And if you want to follow my lead, being you is a confirmation that the will that wanted you really will bless you. You see, there is a will behind everything. God's will. If you believe in God, it's God's will that wanted you to be who you are. So not being who you are is a denial of that will. By being who you are is a confirmation and a blessing, and you will bless others by being how they are. Okay, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom and peace.